Wife started cheating right after I got our finance back together, Part 2. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. So, I did. Also, COVID hit, too. So, I became a remote worker as a result. Which helped because my classes were all virtual. But, a new problem formed that went unnoticed by me for a long time. I had given myself so much to work in school that there wasn't a lot left of me to give to my wife after I gave energy to the kids.
One thing I had promised her in our wedding vows was that, Kay, I will make sure that you never feel like a single parent ever again.
Well, guess what? Kay was feeling like a single parent again. Because I became a body at the house that was always on the computer. My typical day was to wake up around 7 a.m. Start work. Get done around 4 p.m. Help with the kids till 5 p.m. Sometimes be able to sit down for dinner, sometimes not because I usually had a Zoom meeting for my classes around 5 or 6 p.m. Get the kids down for bed at 7 p.m. Start homework at 8 p.m. and finish usually after midnight. Then, I had so much homework that my weekends were me locked in the office for 8 to 10 hours doing homework on both Saturday and Sunday. I was fucking spent mentally to say the least. Kay was feeling very neglected and tired of being primarily the one taking care of the kids. I became very blind to it because I had to become workaholic to pull this stuff off. I felt like a robot. I didn't even retain a lot of the information for school because I moved from one assignment to another so fast that I immediately would forget the information a lot of the time. But, I did well with school and had almost all A's and B's. I want to point out that Kay again was very easily irritated about almost everything. Extremely short-tempered and always was. Kay during this time was again, feeling like a single parent and felt neglected. I was blind to it because of my workload and felt so empowered by that light at the end of the tunnel to fix our marriage. Money. Which I had to have the degree for. I was working in the living room with my office so I could be around everybody more during my work-school hustle. But, it was a little chaotic with Kay and both kids there. And I was nervous that if I did anything wrong at work, that I could potentially screw up the promotion. Which was stupid, because everybody at work loved me. But, I was like, no, I gotta be as professional as possible. So, I moved into the side bedroom and the door usually was shut so I could concentrate. That part worked, because I was able to achieve deep concentration with my work very often now. But, I wasn't around my family as much now. Especially cause of homework. Kay asked for us to go to counseling to fix our marriage. I felt blindsided. We don't need counseling, we are just in a tough spot and just gotta put the work in because this promotion has been promised to me, and then once we get that promotion, we can finally start being a family. Also, we couldn't afford the counseling because we were again operating in the negative money-wise most of the time. I also was blind and trusted the process of what we were trying to do with me getting that promotion. And marriage is a lifelong thing, right? This will be the worst period we'll ever be in, and then we'll laugh in a couple of years and be like, remember when we were poor? Lols, and we'll be so happy. However, I started smartening up to how serious her feelings were. So, I thought, shit, we can't wait another 6 months for this promotion. I gotta go out and get that money now. I started applying like fucking crazy. I got a bite. In Denver, Colorado. Went through the interview process and got far enough into it that we had to be like, oh shit. We might be moving to Colorado. What a dream. We live in a southern boring state, so this sounded like a dream. It was also for a lot more money. I tried my freaking hardest to give that to her in the process. Got to the end of it and they went with the other guy. Kay was devastated. I tried to not let my expectations get too high, so I figured alright. Moving on to the next situation, right? No, Kay was distraught for a good month or so with depression. I could tell this and I tried to be more aware of my surroundings with her and the kids. During this time, homework was killing me to smithereens because I was in the end game advanced courses of my degree. I had to start using my PTOs for one day off a week because the weekday nights and entirety of the weekend wasn't enough time for me to finish my homework. We also started fighting very easily about things because Kay was tired of being stuck at the house and COVID didn't make things better. We agreed on a very conservative route of not being around people during COVID so that nobody got sick. I didn't see my friends or family for a very long time. Well, her family is a very Republican Go Brandon type of family and didn't believe in that stuff. Her dad got in her ear and now she was very pissed at me that we weren't seeing people even though we both agreed on it prior. After many arguments, we started going to visit her family here and there and even had her best friend over a few times. Not because I was super comfortable with it, and I was a little awkward about it because I felt, at the time, that we were putting our family at risk health-wise, and my mom is very vulnerable with her bad health, and that it wasn't what Kay and I had agreed to as a team, but we did it. Because I was trying to compromise and meet her at the middle because I knew that I wasn't very mentally and physically available right now because school and work was whooping my ass. So, I felt like they were mental health wins for her to buy her some happiness until I got my degree in a few months. I want to also mention that our bedroom was fucking dead as dirt this entire period. It died when she got pregnant. But, I had studied that this is typical to happen after birth and may last a few years. So, I would discuss it with her, but it made her feel uncomfortable, so I stopped. I was fine waiting the long game. I loved her and would wait even if it took 3 to 4 years for it to come back to her. We had sex in 2020 about 4 or 5 times. Fast forward to December. I did it. I got my degree. A couple of months later in March, I got the fucking promotion. We were finally in the green on our finances after 3 long years of struggles. Exclamation mark. Things were a little bit happier. But, I didn't anticipate how quickly I could shift my gears. Kay never really wanted to do anything and I would keep getting locked up in personal projects or playing video games while she watched crime docs. It was almost kind of like I couldn't shut my brain off from my college workflow or something. I dunno, lasted maybe 3 to 4 months and then I felt like I was cooled off and I was ready for us to start making more plans to do fun things we couldn't afford to do before but could now. In June, Kay started mentally going radio silent. Significantly more than what she had already been doing. I felt like something was dreadfully wrong. She wouldn't talk to me much. Would need to get out of the house and would go park in parking lots for hours at like 9 p.m., midnight. This went on for a few days and I was like, what the fuck? She even started trying to have conversations with me about what co-parenting would look like. What? She even randomly told me she was bisexual. I didn't really understand what this meant because we were married. But, stuff like this continued, her just shutting down and not talking to me. So, I talked.
Kay, I feel fucking stupid asking this, but, is there somebody else you're talking to?
No. There's not anybody else. But, she kept doing these things and she wouldn't talk to me about what was going on. So, 2 days later, I did what I never did because I trusted her. I snooped on her Facebook. I found a guy. There are more to come. Find out the update of this story, check our channel or the description. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.